The meaning and duration of a journey, 249, a journey or travel, in the dictionary, means traveling any distance. Its opposite is residence. From a religious perspective, a journey means traveling a certain distance. This is defined as a distance equivalent to a 3-day, 18-hour journey at a moderate pace. This is also referred to as 3 stages. A moderate pace refers to walking on foot. In caravans traveling by camel, however, a moderate march is a camel march. At sea, moderate weather conditions are taken into account when sailing. Thus, a distance that can be covered in 18 hours by such a march on land or by a sailing ship in moderate weather at sea is considered the duration of the journey. Thus, only the distance traveled on this route is considered valid. Otherwise, the distance of the round trip is not considered. 250. A person residing in their home or in a place considered their homeland is called a resident. A person who leaves such a place and begins a journey of at least 18 hours is also referred to in religious terminology as a MISAFIR equals traveler. 251. Travel is inherently not free from hardship and difficulty. For this reason, our religion has provided certain concessions for travelers. During a journey, one cannot travel continuously day and night. Rest is necessary. For this reason, specifying the duration of a journey as 3 days and 3 nights in books of Islamic jurisprudence is not inconsistent with this. From this perspective, a normal day's walk is generally considered to be 6 hours. Even if some journeys do not involve hard work or hardship, since the ruling is based on the type of journey rather than the individual, the ruling on journeys covers all types of travel. 252. According to some scholars of Islamic jurisprudence, the duration of a journey is defined as a distance of 18 farsakhs. Since 1 farsakh equals 3 miles and each mile takes 20 minutes to cover, 18 farsakhs would amount to 18 hours. 1 farsakh is considered to be 12,000 steps, and 1 mile is 4,000 steps. However, the distance of a farsakh varies depending on the terrain, whether it is flat, mountainous, or rugged. While the distance of 1 farsakh can be covered in 1 hour on flat terrain, such a distance cannot be covered in 1 hour in mountainous terrain. Therefore, the FERSAH should not be considered a standard unit of measurement in this context. However, if the farsakh is taken as the standard, many issues will be resolved. For example, in train and airplane travel, the number of farsakhs to the destination is taken into account. If the distance to be traveled is at least 18 FERSAH, the journey period is considered to have been completed. The rules of the journey begin to apply. Thus, there is no need to take into account the speed of the vehicles. In fact, all 3 Imams have accepted this definition of a farsakh. According to Imam Malik and Imam Ahmad, the duration of travel is 16 farsakhs. 16 farsakhs equal 48 miles. 1 mile in turn is 6,000 arshins. Accordingly, the duration of the journey amounts to 80 kilometers and 640 meters. According to Imam Shafi'i's initial opinion, it is 1 day. According to his later opinion, it is 48 miles, 253, if a destination can be reached both by land and by sea. The route the traveler takes is considered the standard if a town can be reached by sea in 12 hours and by land in 18 hours. Those traveling by land are considered travelers, while those traveling by sea are not. This ruling also applies if there are 2 land routes to that place. Only those who travel via a route within the travel distance are considered guests. 254. The application of the travel ruling begins after one has departed from the homes in the direction of the journey from the place of residence and has intended to travel to a place at least 3 days' journey away. Therefore, the state of travel cannot begin until these homes have been completely passed and the intention to travel has been formed. 255. Places on the outskirts of a town known as FINA-I MISIR are also considered part of that town. These are generally within a distance of less than 1 arrow's flight, 400 steps. unless there are fields or orchards between the town and these areas. They are considered extensions and components of the town. Therefore, one must also pass through these areas for the journey to be considered to have begun. Vineyards and orchards outside the city, as well as the houses and huts belonging to guards and orchard keepers, are not considered part of the city.